Hey folks, what's up? Is your boy Damage back again, once again, for another live team building session. God, words. So, in this series, I'm basically just making a team from scratch, in the live recording in this game called Toho Puppet Dance Performance, or TPDP for short. Specifically in Baruto's extended mod in the Shard of Dreams version. Basically, um, I see a lot of people ask here, something along the lines of like, how do I team build? So this series is just meant for me to like, basically, I'm just building a team as how I usually do it, with some tips here and there while I just ramble on, and maybe you all watching this could just learn something while I'm basically just making a team while rambling on to myself. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. Now, the mod that I decided to build around today is this. Extra Komachi. So, this is an this is a pretty interesting puppet that I usually don't see that many people use. And she does have some neat traits to her. What's most notable about her is flat speed, which I don't know if you've seen my extra show team building video, but what this essentially is um it's kind of like a pseudo dazzling slash queenly majesty in Pokemon. However, the wording here is important. Instead of blocking priority, it specifically lowers priority skills to 0. And this is most notably important in the sense that this can essentially nullify Protect. Now, granted, in a singles 6v6 setting, this isn't really too important because Protect doesn't really see that much use in general aside from like Wish Protect. But if doubles were to exist, then well, this thing would be absolutely insane. But this game doesn't have doubles, so let's just ignore that. Anyway, what's also nice about this is it has basically, it basically just has special Dragon Dance. And that's pretty cool. Now, I will say that in my experience, because I have used this before, although it's been a while since I made a team that included this, so I'm willing to try this out again, but in my personal experience of using Extra Komachi, the main problem I had with her was just damage output in general. Mostly because 110 special attack is fine, but I've had instances where that could claim some, where that failed to claim some kills. Now, I will say, one thing that I've recently been adding onto my teams in regards to like, whenever I have puppets, or whether I'm building around puppets that that have like a good special attack set but not like scary levels of special attack, is I tend to add spikes. Because I do think that spikes have a really good means of spikes offer a really nice means for me to like get that extra amount of chip damage for extra Komachi to claim and kills. So okay. So with this in mind, I'm gonna use this because it's been a while since I've used this, but I'm gonna make use of this again. So the mod that I want to build around is Extra Komachi, and I am leaning towards Sharp Wind, although I will say, some other options that'd be nice just for the purposes of Extra Komachi inflicting more immediate offensive pressure is Specs could be nice on this, because, as I said before, 110 special attack, to me personally, isn't that strong enough. So I feel that, Specs allows her to immediately get off that damage off without having a turn 2 set up. Similarly, Scarf could be nice on this just because maybe if you feel that 110 special attack is sufficient, you could go Scarf to immediately revenge kill stuff with 95 speed, and um Scarf does synergize with flat speed because you know, she's essentially priority immune. But I do like Sharpwind here, and I want to try to build around Sharpwind Komachi because, well, essentially, even though I'm gonna have to be taking a turn to like set up. This is basically the best of both worlds. So, um, so let me try to remember what I said before. So what I would want is spikes, but I think another thing that I would like, because again this is just something that I would like personally, is I would like to have a parting shotter, because personally I like pairing setup sweepers with parting shot, as it allows them to have an easier time to set up, because you get a slow parting shot onto your setup sweeper, and the mon that got parting shotted is more inclined to switch out. However, I think before I want to have like a spiker and a parting shotter, I think what I first want to do is get I want to have mons that can break through stuff that can just hardwall this. The first thought that comes to mind is Assist Aiden, or any bulky water poison, because that walls her stabs. You know what? Actually, I want to check like what's this thing's coverage first, because in regards to like the whole water poison specifically, she does have Wind Wave, which could be nice for that. Let me see what else she has. I mean, she has this, but she has Destruction Rift, but it's 60 base power, so lol. She has Last Slash, which is... it's okay. The problem that I'm seeing with Last Slash is that even though it's a good stab, I'm not entirely sure what I would want Last Slash for, is the thing. I could go for Aquasonic just to be safe. Like, maybe if Komachi was in a scenario where she wasn't set up and I need priority. Although, yeah, this is looking kind of tough, and I think this might be another reason why I didn't feel as impressed with extra Komachi when I built with her back in the day, is because she lacks coverage. And although Water Warped is good by itself, because no single type resists the combination of Water Warped, I feel like this is a mon where I feel that this needs some more coverage. But I will check. By the way, for those that don't know, this is basically just a Japanese site. I mean, I'll put it in the description, as usual. Or I say as usual, but I've only done this recently. I'll put the links of like the sites that I'm using in the description down below. But this is just a Japanese site that I use that has a nifty search function that can help me like search for shit. So like, for example, if this site could load. Jesus Christ. I want to look for things that resist water and warped and then go from there. Of course, there's the advent of water poison, which can be hit by wind. Let's see, there's warped. I'm seeing a bunch of warped, which is a little bit a lot of bulky warps that resist water. There's extra Cherno, Merlin, Amelia, Lily, Merlin, Lunasa. Okay, this is actually really tough, because... Okay, I'm learning something really interesting today. Perhaps even though Water Warped isn't like an awful offensive combination. I mean, I guess rather I should say, even though water warped isn't resisted by a single type, there's still like it's still walled by a few decent amount of these things do wall it, and I can't really find a good coverage move that covers for all of these. Which is concerning, honestly. Because if I go for Wind Wave, then like it hits shit like it hits shit like the bulky sounds that resist water and warped, but the bulky warps wall it. However, if I want to go for like sound sign, then like actually maybe I could go for poison sign. Poison sign doesn't seem that awful. Because that hits some of the stuff here. Like it hits the bulky warps, it hits some of the bulky waters. This is so awkward. I want to take a I just want to take like a quick look at these. Like, what can resist these? So bulky waters and warps. If I go for wind, then mostly bulky warps. If I go for poison, okay, maybe poison sign might be the play because there's less stuff that resists like the combination of water, warp, and poison. So this might be fine. That being said, I think I would want like an offensive poison type or an offensive wind type that can complement extra Komachi. Alright, so let me look. First off, let me put extra Komachi here, and then from here I should look for stuff that breaks through Komachi's checks and counters. And looking at the list here, it seems that what I would mostly like offensive, maybe offensive sounds, offensive poisons, offensive winds, something along these lines. I'm not entirely sure what I would like yet. But I think what I would want is, I have my setup sweeper. I think what I would like now is some speed control through maybe ideally just some natural speed or a Scarfer, and I would want a breaker, like something that could deal like big damage. I think that's what I would want. And I'm not entirely sure what I would want at the moment. To be honest, like maybe something that has fighting could be nice here. Like, I'm mostly just trying to figure out like what would I like here. That's mostly what I'm just asking myself. Because maybe like something that has fighting and electric could be nice here. I think I like the combination. I think maybe like a. All right, I think I know what I want. I might know what I want here. So, allow me to explain. So I said that specifically I would want like a physical fighting electric, and there's a few options, or there's a couple of options. There's defense Ichirin, which is slow but has no guard. It has no guard dynamic punch, and it has stab bolt tackle or Thor's hammer in this case. However, Power Maida is also another option, and they both have the same attack stat, and while Power Maida is faster, she does have, I mean, I'd say like maybe comparably weaker stabs, mostly in the sense that Power Meta has CC, but she has Lightning Cut while Defense Ichirin has Thor's Hammer. And I think in this case, I think I'd like Power Meta here. Now the question I will want to ask myself is, do I want this thing to run a band, or do I want this thing to switch moves? And to that, I'm honestly unsure. Because I don't know if I want to run double setup. That might not be awful, because I do have like I am planning to get a parting shotter, so it might not be awful, but I feel like I want more immediate pressure. That's what I'm mostly thinking here. I'll come back to the power meta, but I want to take a look at other options first. Maybe like, yeah, I will say this is the part of the video where I'm kind of just like flailing around, just trying to find like what exactly I would want, because I'm not entirely sure what exactly I would want yet. I want to take a look at what resists extra Komachi stabs and go from there. Again, what is concerning is that there is a lot. There is a lot that resists the combination of water and warts, which is concerning. Although, I think what I want to go for, again, is, I've used this before, but I think what I want to go for, actually, is... I've used this mon in the past, and I want to try to use this again because, it has worked well with me before, and I feel like this seems like a good overall option to have, because most of the stuff that switches into extra Komachi stabs are weak to either sound or wind. Yeah, sound, wind, sound, wind. Yeah, it looks like all these are weak to the combination of sound and wind. And I will say in the case of extra Yatsuhashi specifically, I would like to run a ban, mostly because the reason why I considered maybe in the Power Meta example, the reason why I was considering to switch moves with her is because she had decent speed, to where even if stuff would switch in on her, she would still outspeed them, and like break through defensive tricks with the other offensive stab that she has. But in the case of extra Yatsuhashi, what's mostly gonna happen with extra Yatsuhashi is she's just gonna come in on something and then just use a move and then switch out, because she can easily be revenge killed. So I think I would want to use a band in this case. Now, now that we have our breaker, I would want some speed control. Again, I would either want something that has natural high base speed, or I would want something that would have a scarf. Now, I'm not entirely sure what exactly I would want, but perhaps I would want an offensive poison type. And right now, I'm just gonna look for something that has like high base speed and go from there. Oh, wait a minute. I think I screwed up. Oh, no, never mind, I didn't. Pardon me. So, extra Missia would be interesting. I don't know about assist Kudami, because, I mean, like, an offensive assist Kudami would be interesting. However, what's the only interesting the only thing that's interesting about assist Kudami is she does have like fog boosted dark stabs, but fog boosted dark stabs isn't what I want. I want strong offensive poison type moves, and right now it seems that extra Sega is what I would like. I don't know if I would want to run the Scarf especially, but extra Sega looks pretty nice here. I want to take a look at I do want to take a look at offensive types that can also potentially run a Scarf, so I'll take a look at that. Scarf Assist Aiden would be an interesting prospect. There's also extra Satono. Although I would be rocking double offensive sound types, which is not really what I want. There's Power Medicine. Power Yuma. Power Ellis might be interesting, actually. Because it has Stab U-Turn and Strong Poison Stab, I actually like that. There's Defense Nue, Yoshika, Momoyo, Yamame, Ellis. There's extra Kudami would be interesting, although that's double wind, double offensive wind especially, which is something I don't really like. Extra Amelia would be interesting, but although she is faster than Extra Amelia is interesting because she does have U-turn, which is something she has over Assist Aiden, but however she is slightly weaker. And I don't really think that Extra Amelia would have like the firepower that I would like. Extra Tay, what is this? Power... Oh, it's Power Sega. I don't know about Power Sega. Again, it's pretty interesting, but she doesn't really have a pivot move. There's extra... I think that's extra Sanyo. Not really that interesting. Magan, Regal, Udonge... I think in this case, I think out of all these options, I do like Scarf Power Ellis here. Mostly because, she has the advent of Scarf U-Turn, and she does have, like, the Poison Stab that hits through, the checks that I would like to hit with, she has the Poison Stab that walls, extra Komachi's checks. So, I'll go with Scarf Power Ellis, that might be cool. Now, at this point, I would like two things. I would like a Spiker, and I would like a Parting Shotter. And I will say, I noticed immediately, these three are what I'm currently weak to, and I do know the perfect mod for this, but I think it's just best if I show you. So I want something that resists steel, wind, and thunder. Now there are some interesting options, such as the Rikakos. Extra Rikako in particular looks pretty interesting, but the thing that mostly came to mind was extra Mayumi. Extra Mayumi is indeed pretty nice for just switching into all the stuff that my offensive pieces are weak to and provide spikes, which is really nice. Now at this point, I would want something that has Parting Shot, personally. And I would want something that resists electric and sound, of course, but I would also like something that resists maybe water and or nature, mostly because that's what extra Mayumi is weak to. So that is something to keep in mind. So what I want to do is, right now I definitely want something that resists sound. And I think at the moment, actually, you know what? I think at the moment I want to take account of extra Mayumi's weaknesses. But I also want to, just in case, I don't want something that I would like something that's at the very least not weak to electric. And we do have something for that in extra Lunasa. Extra Lunasa is a really nice option because not only does she have Parting Shot, she also has Spin, which is definitely something that I would need. Now at this point, I would need a Stealth Blocker that could resist the combination of Steel, Wind, Electric, and Poison. I'm not entirely sure if I could find something like that, but I hope I could find something like that. If not, then I will have to backtrack a little bit and not use Extra Lunasa here. Pardon me. Okay, nice. There are some... So out of the... Okay, I have a few options here. Power Kane is a little bit interesting because... She does have, like, okay-ish bulk if I invest. If I invest in it. And she does have access to not only Stealth Trap, but also Solar Eclipse. Defense Momiji is also another interesting one. A very Steelix-esque profile. That might be fine. It might be fine to work with. And with Defense Momiji, that does actually round out everything. Yeah, this actually looks pretty decent. I suppose one thing that might be a little bit concerning is that Extra Lunasa is a little bit under pressure because I'm mostly referring to this section in particular. The team has like the team kind of hinges on Extra Lunasa to switch in on water and nature types, which might be a little bit concerning. That might be something that I might have to consider. But aside from that, the team overall looks fine. I actually do like this. This might be a little bit more interesting for me to use. Now that I have the team, I actually want to show something. I finally figured out how to get this to show on the recording, which is what the heck? Oh, okay, there we go. Which is this, the save editor. I know how to get this on the recording now. Thank God. So yeah, now that so now with this, I could finally just show you guys, like, me just putting stuff in the save editor. And, yeah. So I'm just gonna put the stuff in the save editor real quick. Extra Komachi. What would I want on this? Probably just Life Orb. I think that's probably fine. So I want Sharp Wind. Although Cold Rain is nice for consistent damage, or rather, although Geyser is nice for more consistent damage, or I do need Cold. I think I prefer Cold Rain on this because I want as much damage as possible on this. Impulse because that's her best stab, and I did say I would like Poison Sign. I did like Poison Sign because that I feel like that covered a lot of things. Extra Yatsuhashi. I'll go Red Mark, Choice Band. And I do like investing speed on this because even if this thing is base 50 speed, with investment it could outspeed like a few bulky walls. Typically, I would say like if the speed is like above, say, I mean, I guess maybe 50 is like a good benchmark. Either 50, maybe 40. I feel like it's still fine to invest in speed because that does outspeed some bulky shit. But once the speed stat gets to like 30 or so, then I forget. Then I say, nah, I'm not gonna invest in speed anymore. But to be honest, I do think that there is merit to investing speed on like slow breakers, but it gets to a point, and it all just depends on like what you're outspeeding for. Because right now I feel like maybe base 50 speed is just like it's just still decent, but again I don't really know like what walls you're trying to outspeed. I'm mostly just guesstimating, which is why I feel like investing in investing something with 50 speed is okay. High time cross, changeling. Let's see, Scarf. Max attack, max speed. What would I want as my third stat? Probably just knock. Knock is fine. And changeling. Miami. Extra. What would I want for like the defenses of everything? I think, let's see. I think since I have a defense emoji, I'll like I think I know what to do. I think for defense emoji and extra Miami, I'll actually, you know what? I think for both the more physically biased defensive pieces in Moji and Miami, I'll just invest in Spadef. But I think with extra Lunasa, I'll go max Spadef. I think that's pardon me. I think that's what I'll do. And what do I want to do for items actually? Lunasa's gonna hold heavy duty boots. Who would I want to hold lefties? Probably Mayumi. And then for defense emoji, what would I want? I don't know. Counterbed, I guess. Again, this is... Or I shouldn't say again, because I haven't really said this, but... This is the kind of thing that just makes item clause such a pain in the ass, because, like... If it weren't for item clause, then I'd basically just go with, like, boots on, like, the... On some defensive pieces, and then just put lefties and everything else, but... you know... What can you do? It's the game we play. What also sucks is that... In this game specifically, like, it's not even a gentleman's agreement thing. Well, I mean, you could like maybe, you can maybe like gentleman's agreement to play in free rules, which doesn't have item clause. But if you're not playing in free rules, then item clause is literally coded into the game, which is honestly kind of annoying. But what can you do? Go get the HPs. So I think I'd want Smash Spin, Pollen Mist, Decrescendo, and Grace of Mana. Oh wait, no, does this thing have first aid? Oops. Defense Momiji. I'll go with sturdy, why not? Let's go for counter bet, I guess, why not? No. Stealth trap. Shooting press. Changeling. First aid. Alright. Alright, that's the changes. Now, I'm gonna boot up the game so I could just show you guys the final product, but... game, can you load up, please? Thank you. This is the team. So, we have, Sharp Wind, 3 attacks, extra Komachi. We have Banded, extra Yatsuhashi. We have Scarf, Power Alice. We have, Spadef, Spikes, Mayumi. We have Spadef, Parting Shot, extra Nasa. And we have, Rocks, Defense Moji. So with that, that is the team. And I will see you guys, when I put this team in action. Later.